What's up, everyone, and welcome to HBCU 101, where we celebrate the people, the culture, the stories of those that push HBCUs forward. I'm your host, Jalil Thurman, all right? Today's guest is the definition of heart, hustle, and HBCU excellence. She's a proud graduate of the illustrious Delaware State University, who carved her own lane in the media industry, not by just waiting for a seat at the table, but by creating her own. You might have seen her on TMZ, where she spent nearly a decade reporting and producing some of the biggest headlines in pop culture. You've heard her holding her own on The Breakfast Club and leading conversations that push the culture forward. And now she's making waves as the creator and host of The Latest with Loren LoRosa, her own daily podcast on iHeartMedia's Black Effect Network, where she delivers sharp, unfiltered takes on the world of entertainment. Now, she's also the founder of Brown Girl Grinding, a growing media and lifestyle brand that embodies everything that she stands for: boldness, brilliance, and Black women owning their own voices. We're honored to welcome to the show media personality, entrepreneur, and trailblazer, Miss Loren LoRosa.
That was a heck of an intro.
You know.
You did so good.
Had to make you feel like
I'm
family.
gonna take that boldness, like the bees that you did. I like that.
I
Going into Brown Girl Grinding. Shout out to us.
Yeah.
And
Delaware State.
Delaware State University in the building.
Is in the building.
Yes, period.
Now listen, before we get to that, I'm about to put you on the hot seat right quick.
Okay.
All right, let's go. So we play a game called I Got 5 on it.
Okay.
Where you choose this or that or who or what you got 5 on.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna talk HBCUs.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna talk homecomings. Who homecoming you got 5 on? Spellhouse or A&T?
I've never been to either one of those, so how can I?
You ain't never been to A&T?
No.
North Carolina A&T?
No, but I heard that Spellhouse is, I don't know. So I did a series that I produced for ESPN Anscape, and we went to different homecomings. I wasn't physically there, but they did go to A&T's.
Got you.
And it looked lit, but I've always heard that Spellhouse was the place to be.
Okay.
So maybe I put 5 on Spellhouse.
Heard you. Heard you. Now, the real HU. Who's the real HU? Who you got 5 on? Hampton or Howard?
The old me who thought that Howard was like the only HBCU Black people could go to if they wanted to work in entertainment would have said Howard. But the me who loves DJ Envy, and shout out to Thea Mitchum, our program director at Power 1051, is going to say Hampton University.
Heard you. So you put your 5 where
put
family
my 5
at.
on Hampton.
I ain't mad.
Yeah,
I ain't
Hampton.
mad. All right, look, let's get into the HBCU experience. All right, now you from the west side, down bottom of Wilmington, Delaware.
Yes.
Now, where you went to high school, Howard High,
Yes,
Delaware State was the 13th grade.
it was.
Right.
Literally, they say that.
13th grade. Now, you went to Delaware State because they had that paper.
You good.
They gave you that full
You did your
scholarship.
research.
I do what I can. You ain't gonna come to my house and I don't know a little
Yeah,
something.
you did your research.
Now, I had a full academic scholarship, so I understand why you made that decision.
Yes.
However, the one thing that is dope about HBCUs is just that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like the 13th grade. Can you really explain why Del State, to some might have been like the 13th, but to you it really wasn't?
Well, to some, I think people called it the 13th grade because if you've been in Delaware, especially if you went to Howard High School of Technology, our high school was low-key giving HBCU vibes. So we did, like, it was all the parties. Our homecomings were the ones you wanted to go to. Our fashion shows were lit. All of our events, even if you didn't go to our school, you were trying to figure out how to get in. We had the girls was the flyers, the guys were the guys. All the things, right? The football team was like popular. Everything that a HBCU embodies as far as like culture and like community, my high school had that.
Okay.
So most people at Howard High School of Technology, where I'm from in Wilmington, Delaware, tried not to go to Del State, but a lot of people ended up at Del State just because it was affordable and it was just right there. It was close to home. So when you were at Howard, they would literally tell you, like, don't go to Del State, it's the 13th grade, because it felt like your continuation of Howard High School. But for me, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't want to go to college. Like, I wanted to move to New York. I was like, I was going to live in a model house. I was just going to model and figure out life. Like, there were certain things I wanted to do that I felt like being in college for 4 years were going to take away from. And last minute, my mentor, Lori Hayes, was like, you at least need to apply. Like, even if you don't decide to go, your decision, but at least if you apply, you won't be behind when, after you graduate. And I was so glad I did it. Delaware State University came to Howard High School. They were in our cafeteria. I applied, got accepted on the spot. And then probably like a month later, they emailed me, was like, oh, we're going to give you, you know, this Pell Grant, which is free money, full academic scholarship. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't even know what that means. Because I'm first generation college graduate in my immediate family. So a lot of that stuff, I didn't know how important that was until I started actually being like, okay, let me apply to some schools. I applied to like Brown, Columbia, Howard University. Because I knew about HBCUs just because of my mentor. She was like the first person outside of like TV shows like College Hill and, you know, the Cosby Show and Different World that talked about it. But it was different seeing it on TV. It was aspirational there, but to meet a person who like, she's a Delta and she has this whole life and she goes back to homecoming, I was like, oh wow, this is a thing. It's different. So when she told me to do it, I did it. It worked. And then I remember I got accepted into Temple because I was like, I'm gonna go to Temple. I'll either be in their law program or I'll be in their communications program. And then I saw how much Temple cost a semester. Not even a year, just per semester with multiple semesters. And then how much money they were willing to give me. And I was like, okay, let me at least go to Del State's orientation. And when I got on campus, I just, like, I remember being on campus and being at orientation and being like, it feels good here. And in high school, I was always very well aware of myself. So in high school, I switched from a really big, diverse, huge, like you're just a number high school where I'm from to like a smaller, a lot more black kids. Teachers are a lot more hands-on because, you know, they just know that you need community. And that changed my life. And I felt like that when I went to HBCU. So getting to Del State, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, and the community of it, man, like going to HBCU changed my life, and not because of the classes I was taking, just getting on campus and realizing like, okay, it's something special about us. Like, and because you're seeing it in every state, every city, every, you know, the fashion, the intelligence, the, you know, the drive, the motivation. I had never been around that many black people who were just great. It was like black excellence for real. People be saying that, but if you've ever been to a HBCU, it's like y'all party, y'all have a good time, but like when it's time to put on and do your thing, you do. And I had never experienced that. So to see it in real time, like it just changed the way I thought about myself and my importance in the world. It literally, like, it changed my life, but it also saved my life too. Yeah,
you know, that's crazy because that's what you hear about HBCUs. One, how different it is, and then two, it's a lot of people that say their HBCU really like saved them. Right? And when you talk about the culture, so me being from Chicago, going to Virginia State, certain words I didn't hear, right? Like, we call Air Force Ones. People call them Uptowns.
New York calls them Uptown.
Yeah, then Virginia, they was calling Flaves.
Flaves, like the Flavor Flaves?
Like, because I said, why? They said, because they come in different flavors. I said, oh, that's crazy.
I never heard that.
Or like Timberland boots, we call them Tims.
Tims, we call them, or Butters.
So Butters and beef and Brocks, like it was macaronis. Like I was starting to hear.
You ain't never heard beef and broccoli?
No.
But y'all keep y'all Air Force Ones clean though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I would so hate for Chicago to have all this stuff going on and your Air Force Ones are dirty.
And then we call stuff gym shoes. East Coast call them sneakers.
What?
Yeah, so like it was a transition. So when you talk about that, not only culturally, it was like, oh wow, it was exposing you to more than just your neighborhood. But then it's like to that point, you start seeing people coming and they want to just excel in life. And you like, oh.
And what I thought was so crazy about that, to your point, is they in the Butters, they in the Air Force Ones. And I was like, yo, so we fly and like we go to class and we're all gonna graduate and be something good. And like, you might be like the host on the mic. You might be the okay, we know she's gonna be the next president, but like we all black and we all have a good time. Man, like just even being here and thinking about it just makes me miss college because it just felt so like, it wasn't that we were green, but it just felt so empowering. Like you felt like you could do anything in the world. Like we'll figure this out after we leave here.
That's it.
Yeah.
And life after. Be spicy. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit more about your experience in undergrad.
Okay.
All right, now you come from like straight hustlers. Moms, grandma, properties, businesses, uncle.
You really did your research.
Appreciate you. Uncle, coaches some all-star tennis teams, baby cousin was in Broadway. Like, so for you, hustler's mentality was always a thing. And I even heard you once say that college to you was even that too.
Yeah.
Like you was like, everybody's gonna give a college student an opportunity.
Oh yeah, it was a lick. Right. I was just like, I'm gonna just get here.
That's how you took that mentality. And a lot of students miss that, right? And you had an opportunity even with like Cosmo Magazine. Now, but outside of that, what other opportunities did that mentality get you while you was in undergrad?
What? My first entertainment job ever was because of my HBCU.
Okay.
So I eventually ended up being the fashion accessories coordinator for Project Runway All Stars the second season.
Okay.
But I started out as just a production assistant, a PA. I didn't even know what a PA was. I was just like told, go get internships. This was like years ago at Delaware State. So like they're not throwing you in entertainment and all the fun things. I was a business major. People think I have a communications degree and I don't. I have a business administration degree with a concentration in marketing. So all my friends were interning at top 5, like, the Morgan Stanleys and all the things. And those places are great too. But for me, I was like, I want to kind of do something a little bit more creative. But I was on campus one day and I just began branding myself on campus. Like, whenever somebody was coming through for homecoming or whatever, I was in a radio station doing the interviews or like whatever I could do. And one of my homeboys called me and was like, yo, there's a lady here from America's Next Top Model. We know you model. And I've been auditioning for America's Next Top Model every year, multiple times a year.
Wow.
That since the time I could, because it's the age limit. The year I actually went to college was the first year that I made it to like the 3rd round, like right before they put you on TV for the casting, and then I got eliminated, and I was like, oh, I gotta go to college now. But she was on campus, so I'm like, when will you get to? I didn't know she went to the school. I just thought she was there just to talk to the students.
Oh wow.
It was Mass Comm Day. I was like, I'm going. I'm not going to class. I'm going to go there. So I went there, and her name is Cara Barnett. She's my mentor to this day, and she lives in LA. She works with, the Apple television creative team, and she's fire. Delaware State University alumni. But I remember walking up to her and handed her my modeling resume, like not even like a job resume. Like here's all of the runways I've graced. Mind you, it was like local things. Like I was in Howard High School Technology's fashion show, and here's my height and my measurements, and I'm like, I'll walk for you right now. Like I need to be on that show, and she was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. Like, I'm telling you, I would change the game. Like, put me on that show. I need to be there. And she was like, no, you don't. And we'll talk. And I was like, I'm not leaving here until you put me on that show. And she was like, come here, let's talk. So she put me to the side and she was like, listen, you really want to model? Reality TV is not where you want to start at. Because I think that it was a time in reality TV and things where it was like people were trying to figure out if they took, like if you could even have a career after that. So it was early on. But she's like, I'll take your resume. I'll give you my contact information. I want you to really understand like what getting on TV could mean and like why do you want to be on TV? Because what I hate to see is that we put women on these shows and then after the show they don't understand anything. Like as far as like what do I do next with all the exposure that I have? So she's like, if you can figure that out, hit me up, we'll talk. I was emailing her every day for 6 months, and finally I was summer job my sophomore year. I was at Nordstrom and I was in training. This number kept calling me and I'm like, who is calling me? I called him back on a break and he's like, hey, it's Paul J. Metford, who's a huge fashion casting director, huge, like, I mean, world renowned. And I'm like, it's who? And he was like, it's Paul J. Metford. And I was like, no, it's not. And he was like, but I heard the accent and I'm like, and he was like, yeah, Cara Barnett sent us your resume. We're staffing up for the production team for Project Runway All Stars. Would you be interested? And I was like, yes. He was like, could you do a Zoom interview? I was like, yeah, sure, when? He was like, right now. I'm in the closet at my job. And so I did it.
Figured it out.
Got the job, and I got there. And just by the way that and again, credit to my HBCU because Del State, one of the things that they told you coming in is like, oh, it's a runway. Going to class, all the things, right? I think that's an HBCU thing. Like you want to be fly when you step out and all, present well. I would get dressed to go to work every day. I remember I went shopping just to prepare for the summer that I was going to be in New York working with them. And it paid off. My second week there, they came to me and was like, hey, we love the way you dress. We love the way you put together things. You think you can manage a fashion closet? I was like, oh yeah, for sure, I could do it. I didn't know what they was talking about. So they were like, okay, well, create a system. We're going to give you all of our accessories from our sponsor. The sponsor was 9 West. And you'll be in charge of, for every episode, you'll figure out what accessories the designers use to style the episodes that air on TV. And I was like, okay, cool. I was so nervous.
Going with the flow.
Yeah, but I was going with the flow. But all of this came just because of how I learned to present myself and show up for things at my HBCU. And that I went from production assistant, which is just a helping hand on set. And, they're important, but it's an entry-level position to fashion accessories coordinator. Credited, I'm working with, this huge production company. It's on a network, Lifetime at the time, and just doing all these things. And, man, from that, and because of Cara Barnett and that connection, that was the first time I even saw people make real money in entertainment. People was telling me like, yo, entertainment is a dying industry.
Yeah, I feel that.
I met an executive producer that season. He told me he worked only that show 2 months out of the year.
Chilling.
All year.
Cruising.
He made enough money to do that. And I was like, this is not a dying industry. People just don't know where they're supposed to be at. I'm going to be here. Like, this is where I'm going to be at. But all that came from me meeting her at Mass Comm Day, and it changed my life.
And doing your thing. And I mean, that's ultimately how it always happens, right? Right place, right time.
Yeah.
You was bullying your way into places like, nah, let me do this, let me do that. And it paid off. Now, we talk a lot of this professional side. One thing I know about you, Loren, you like to have a little good time.
Yes.
Let's talk. Give me a memorable moment.
From college?
From college. Like a
Oh.
homecoming.
No.
Something that you just thoroughly like, oh yeah, that's the one. When you think, oh
Yes.
yeah, that was the time.
I'm thinking about it right now. So our senior year, we had a senior week our senior year, like
Okay.
that week leading up to your graduation.
Yeah.
So I lived in this apartment complex called the Ville. So it's just like literally like an
Okay.
apartment building. A bunch of them look alike and it's on campus.
Yeah.
And I remember we was like, all right, this our last week. We barely got classes. We gonna party the whole week. So we partied the whole week. I mean, we set up speakers. There was one day when we kicked it off, right? We had one day where we put speakers on because we were very innovative. We knew how to produce.
We gonna do that.
We knew how to produce an event.
Come
now that
on
I'm an
now.
adult, I knew what we was doing. But then it was like, yo, we turn it up. But we put speakers on every floor,
Okay.
5 floors, and each of the speakers connected. So whatever the DJ played went through all floors, right? So we had the DJ at the bottom floor, speakers on every floor when you hopped off the elevator. We had host rooms. So it was like when you got out the elevator, first 3 rooms were the host rooms. So you had your rooms for
Right.
you was doing your things in the rooms, right? And it was fun partying. And I was like, why should we do it at night? They're gonna be looking for us to do it at night. Let's do a day party event. Let's do it a day party extravaganza. So for the first 2 days of my senior week of college at Delaware State University, we turned the Ville into like the biggest party 48 hours you could even
y'all
think
were
of.
lit.
I mean,
Y'all
you're
were
hopping room to room, floor to floor. We had DJs clocking in, clocking out. We had, in one of the rooms, we had like people like hosting, like it was insane. Like my room was one of the host rooms. So we had like, you go to different rooms, it was like different people, different things, people from different states. Our DJ, you know how they play the different music. Like that was our senior week of just celebrating, finally getting to the point where we were graduating after everything we had been through. Best time of my life.
First and foremost, I wish I did that. Cause that sound like a time.
They'll say it's a good time.
That sound
Well,
like.
I don't know about what they be doing now, but we had a good time.
The closest thing I might have to that is when I crossed Q, we threw a party every single day for like 10 days straight.
Whoa.
And it wasn't even like, and it was house parties.
Yeah.
And my line brother his house was across the street from campus. And so people could walk. Then it was like, all right, bro, I need a break. So then one of my homegirls had this big crib about 5 minutes from campus, but we was carpooling people to the party, had punch every week, every day. I mean, like we had chicken.
We're a dry campus. I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel you. We are too, but time was had. A time was had. All right. Now look, let's talk a little bit after college. Now you touched on modeling. All right. Now you started your modeling journey right out of school, but they were saying you might have talked a little too much in New York.
Oh, I did.
Yes. So you end up taking your times to LA. It started off a little shaky. Somebody threw something at you, but she must have forgot where you was from, and you almost hemmed her up.
I didn't though.
I know you didn't, but you kept it chill.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I'm saying? Now, but that was almost like a blessing in disguise. Right?
It was. Because I knew, so what you're talking about is I moved to LA and I've been working in marketing. I moved to LA once, ran out of money. My friend that I was staying with decided to move back to Delaware, so I moved back too. I got a job thanks to my HBCU. I did an internship with Barclays.
Okay.
I just happened to do a business internship because I had to stay close to home one summer because I needed to make up a class to graduate on time. Shout out to Barclay Carr, actually. They held me down, but I did an internship with them, and I began working with them after college, right out of college. And then I moved back to LA the second time. So when I moved back to LA the second time, I took a job with Barclay Carr in Vegas, and then I took a PR job that got me from Vegas to LA.
Right.
I was working for a PR firm, fashion PR firm, so I was doing PR for Subi Denim, Lovers and Friends, Revolve, which is like these are really big brands now. But then they were big, but like I don't think a lot of people
was knowing about them.
Yeah, but I was doing PR for them, just like getting placements in magazines and placements on celebrities, and boutique firm, so there's no HR for real. There's not even for real at all.
At all.
It's just us and the lady who runs it. And I gotta take a big, like the big tape, like you packing boxes tape, thrown at me across the room, and I was like, I can't say what I thought.
Come on.
But I quit that day though, and I was like, no, I can't do this no more. But it was a blessing in disguise. I was really broke for a while after, and I just, I went through that whole thing of just trying to afford to live, afford to eat, whatever. But I think that made me feel like, okay, whatever I do from here on out, I gotta at least be able to stomach it. Like the job was easy to me. I could do it in my sleep. They loved me. They wanted me to. I was growing rapidly in a PR firm, even though it was boutique.
Yeah.
But I just knew, like, I can't stay here. Like, this is not my thing. They're not paying me well. I don't like this. I don't like the way I'm being treated. So that really taught me a lesson in, if you feel like that, why are you doing this? Like, you can figure things out. You can get another job. LA is not the only place in the world. You've already went back home and you still were successful enough to make it back to LA. Like, it's good. You're fine. You can start over if you need to, but don't ever stay somewhere where you feel like your value has hit its ceiling. Like, get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I think being able to pivot, being able to always understand your value, I think, especially in this space, in the world, number one, is always a challenge. But then when you start talking about entertainment and fashion and any of these spaces, it's a whole nother ball game. It's like a you know?
It's rough.
It's rough.
It sounds cute now, and like we're sitting here talking about it, and it sounds so good. But
in the
when
moment,
you were in it, like being in it, like I have a vlog on my YouTube channel. Check out Loren LoRosa TV on YouTube, y'all. I have a vlog where I'm in the car, like I just quit the job, got in my car and just pressed record, and I'm just talking. I break down crying because I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do now? I could barely afford anything when I was working there. So now what I'm gonna do?
What you really gonna do?
Yeah.
Now let's talk how you pivoted a little bit. All right, TMZ tour bus, tour guide.
Yes.
Right. You was doing your thing, but then one of the part of the job was to do interviews.
Yes.
And you would get off, and your personality at that point became your superpower.
100%.
Because people loved your interviews. TMZ loved your interviews. And so that got you on the website. Now for you, because that wasn't something heard of that people were doing back then, did you then feel like you have a space, like you got a lane in this space?
No, I did not feel like I had anything. I felt like I'm just lucky that the people in the newsroom know my name. Like, it was really like a pay your dues, right? Because I'm at TMZ in this space after I done Project Runway, Cosmopolitan Magazine, and I worked 2 to 3 years as, with Barclay Card, I was there. Like, they're flying me all over the world. I'm hosting meetings with, the people in the UK who run the company, and I'm teaching them about how they should better, because I worked in the community. Like, I was doing a lot of things, right? Long story short, doing a lot of things, major things. I took a step back to do what I decided to do with TMZ. And it sounds good when you talk about it, but when I was in it, I was like, yo, this is I have another video on my YouTube channel. Please make sure you're going to check that out. And the YouTube video, I vividly remember recording it. I was in my apartment, and I was crying, I was upset, and I was just like, yo, I'm doing all of this, and I still got to work 3 jobs. I still feel like I had to quit my job 2 to 3 times for them to even put me in the newsroom.
Right.
Because I had to make them like, hey, I'm here, and if you don't listen, I'm going to leave. So I had to fake leave 3 times. Like, if they had been like, don't come back, I would have figured it out.
Right.
But luckily enough, each time somebody was like, no, wait, what's wrong? Right. But it was like, they didn't care about me, not enough to make no change. So I didn't feel like I had anything. I just felt like I'm here, and I just need to pay my bills. But also I see opportunity in this room. Right.
I mean, a lot of times we always got to take that step back to just get forward. I mean, it just sound like, but I like your bluff. Because you was like, hey, I'm leaving. They want to work it out. And I think that just shows your value, though, right? And I think that was that a level of reassurance to you, and why you kept pushing forward? Because you was quitting,
it was
and
so
they still
fake,
wanted
though.
you.
Like, it was LA and just entertainment in general are just so fake. Because it was like, I think I was looking to be valued, but in reality, I wasn't valued. I was just a needed number, and I was good at what I did. And I didn't understand how good I was at what I did, but they did.
Right.
So as long as they could keep me in that space for what they were paying me and how they were utilizing me, and as much as they were utilizing me, and and this is not like me taking a dig at TMZ, because any business would do that, right?
Right.
But I think it was an opportunity too. So if I'm looking at it from a positive light, it was like, even though I felt like I could barely afford to do A, B, C, and D, and y'all are good, and I deserve more. At the same time, it was like, but I'm in this room.
Yeah.
And if I'm here,
It's for a reason.
I'm here for a reason, but also at this time, what can I do with this? I know I'm not gonna be here forever, but while I'm here, how can I run this up?
Right. And you refer to TMZ as like a boot camp.
Oh, baby, yes.
But what lessons did it teach you that you still maybe carry with yourself today?
Man, being factual is so important to me. You cannot not be factual when you're number one.
Yeah.
I remember being in a newsroom and, you know, people being pronounced dead that weren't dead. I didn't do that, but I remember that happening and just how we all felt because we took a hit, you know what I mean? Like it was like, we don't do that. Like TMZ doesn't tell you something happened and it didn't, you know what I mean? But also I remember times where I was moving too fast. Like even now, I be moving too fast. And little things will mess up or little details, and I instantly can pull back and be like, Loren, you're moving too fast. You need to slow down, pay attention to the details. You barely read that. Like I had a time on Breakfast Club recently where I was doing a clip story, and I think I was preparing for the story probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I gotta get up at 4. So much on my day and during my day, just trying to keep up with everything that's happening right now, because you know you feel like when things start moving, you don't want to let nothing fall by the wayside, or you might not ever get it again. It's a scarcity mindset. But I got on air and I was completely thrilled with the story. I wasn't the things that were like the facts. I wasn't even spitting them right, and instantly I was like, you're moving too fast. But I was able to identify that because at TMZ you had to be able to identify that, or you were going. There's no second chance. Oh, you just figure it out the next day. No, at TMZ it was like, if your facts are not right, you better have some good graces in there with the people who like, you know, who see potential in you, that will give you another chance, because you costing that brand and that business money. And that's not a TMZ thing. That's a business thing. Like my life. Like I can't afford to take a hit because you're not slowing down and doing what we taught you to do. So, I mean, that, paying attention to details, how to cold call. I've always been able to talk to people, but imagine being, you know, it's been times where I've called people at TMZ trying to confirm a death, and I was the first person to tell a family member that somebody died. And so now I'm on the phone with your mom or your sister or your grandmother or whoever, and I'm the first person to tell them. And as a person, it's like, whew, man, this is hard. But as an employee at TMZ who has a certain amount of stories exclusively you got to pump out a week, I still need to know that this happened. Yeah. So like that was a really tough space, and those conversations were really hard, and you know, and all those things have good and bad sides to it, because I felt like when I got out of the space, even now I'm still learning how to be like, you know, we were talking earlier about like just my tone and my demeanor, and like I could be tone deaf sometimes. I think I've always been this way. Yeah. Because my mom is queen tone deaf, but I think being at a space like TMZ, you get in it's like this. You just pumping out the stories, pumping out the exclusives. You forget that these are people. And these stories affect people and affect people's bottom line and their dollar. So I'm still learning that, but you know, I could put me in any room, I can talk my way out of it, because I've been in the hardest of conversations and had to navigate through it. But also just like fighting through adversity too, because you know, every Sunday at TMZ, there's a producer that's normally working by themselves. Okay. When I first got there, and I think it's still this way now. It is still this way now, matter of fact. When you first start working Sundays, it's kind of like a hazing, where they throw you on Sundays by yourself and you got to work one-on-one with Harvey. And I don't know if you've ever met a very passionate, rich person who has a successful business. You never know what you're getting, right? And it's because there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of things going on, especially a person that's like, Harvey's a real newsman, so he used to be in a newsroom and things moving and, you know, all of that. So I remember my first month there, not even first month, my first weekend with him, I came back in the newsroom and I was like, if y'all don't talk to that man, I'm quitting. He not gonna talk to me like that. And they were like, oh, we'll talk to him. Next weekend came, same thing. And that weekend I said to him, listen, I understand your business is on the line. Yeah. I have businesses as well, I get it. But if you continue to talk to me like this, I think he called me stupid. I told him, if you continue to talk to me like this, stupid is not gonna work for me. I can't work like this. If you want me to do a good job for you, let me do the job. Back off a little bit and watch how you talking to me. Yeah. Like this is not gonna work. I'm here, I'm on your team, I will perform, but you gotta I can't perform like that. Yeah. Especially, I can't perform hating you, because I'm a feel away. he heard me. I mean, I was gonna say we ain't had a problem since, not a real problem, but like, I think he respected me being like, you're not gonna run me out of here. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, and we're gonna do this, but let me check you real quick, and then we're gonna move on and get to work. And that taught me a lot about like dealing with adversity, because I needed that job just as much as they needed me at the time. Like I needed the money, I needed the lessons, that's why I say it's the best boot camp I've ever experienced, because it was tough, it was hard. There's probably a little trauma there, but at the same time, like it changed my work ethic. It changed everything. Like I want to say I wouldn't be sitting here without that, but you know, God is good, so I would have been here.
Now.
Yeah,
All the time.
but it was important in my journey. It was a needed moment in my journey, and I learned and soaked up so much. It changed how I approached so many different things.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately, I think sometimes that starts at home, then it starts at your HBCU experience, because you got to bully your way through a lot in
100%.
HBCU, and people come from different backgrounds. Hey, hold on now. We can, but you ain't gonna be talking to me like that, right? And then you take it to the workplace, and I think it's really a respect thing, especially as like a black woman. It's like, hold on, wait a minute now, player. I got you, but not too much on me.
But you gotta learn how to do that too.
Yeah.
Like, cause what I realized about myself was coming from my background of where I come from, just like being from the city I'm from and dealing with people, how I deal with them, and then, you know, I'm on campus, and then in my household, words is flying and people talk crazy.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to assert myself, and I'm still learning. I'm still fine-tuning it, how to assert myself, give the hold on now, but also still maintain a level of respect where like we can work with each other and work together. My HBCU definitely helped me with that, 100%, because like you couldn't get too crazy on campus. You didn't want to get kicked out of school, but life helped me a lot with that too.
Life is the biggest lesson. Now, you talked a little bit about cold calling, right? Bullying your way, and then sometimes being that first call, right?
Yeah.
Now, you was leaving, you was in the in-between with TMZ before you got to the Breakfast Club, but you, I believe, was the first to talk to Angela Yee and on the cold call and trying to get the scoop for TMZ, and then you kind of bullied your way a little bit into the position you in now, but a lot of people who might not know, actually, you weren't even trying to be the guest host. You actually were just trying to
I didn't think they were looking for regular people.
Right.
And I was like, you know what I mean? Like I was, now I mean, I'm at TMZ and I'm on the show, but like you didn't really know me. But yes, when they, so when she shot out that tweet, The Breakfast Club As You Know It Is Over, it was trending. It was everywhere. My job was to know what was trending and how to make angles and stories around it. So I'd had her number because I had looked her up online, and I nexused my way in, as I did with anybody else I wanted to get to. Trying to get the story of like, really what I wanted to know was who was going to be next. Because I felt like with a show as big as The Breakfast Club, it was no way they didn't know that by the time they announced it. Come to find out, they really didn't. Like, it was a moving process. But I thought, okay, they have to have a production plan, right? Like, they gotta know. If she's leaving, they already, So I reached out to her trying to figure that out. And it was actually a text. So I text her and I'm like, hey, it's Loren, and you know, I'm with TMZ, would love to set up a shot with you. Setting up a shot just means we send a camera to you. So we had camera people in LA and camera people in New York. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to send a camera to you. Let's just talk about your exit or whatever. But I already told the camera guy, like, yo, look, the story is who's going to be in the seat next. Like, that is the story. We shot her, they put it up, the clip did well. While I was talking to her about that though, I said to her, like, I swear I was just joking. She was like, because I was like, yeah, you know, she was like, what are they going to ask me? Well, they might ask you about why you decided to leave. Is there issues? Who's next in the seat? She was like, I really don't know who's next. And I'm like, girl. And she was like, no, I really don't know. And I was like, well, let me know since you don't know, because I'm thinking she joking. I'm like, well, since you don't know, all right, Angela, like, since you don't know, let me know if they want a brown girl on her grind up there. And she was like, shoot your shot. Like, they don't know what they want. And I was like, you serious?
Heard you.
And she was like, yeah. And I was like, can I send you a resume? And she was like, yeah. It didn't happen through her. Like, I don't even think she ended up forwarding anything. But that let me know, like, okay,
it's go time.
let me see if I can, like, get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, nah, it's go time. And you even said it was either TMZ or The Breakfast Club.
But I used to jokingly say that.
Right. But
Like, that was like.
But that just shows you how powerful words are. That shows you how powerful manifestation is.
Yes.
And that's what you really manifested. And for you, you wake up every day.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, do you ever pinch yourself and be like?
All the time. I be pinching myself like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
We just had a moment. Who were we interviewing? I forget who it was. Me and Jess had the moment together. It was Kid and Play. Well, it was only, not both of them were there, but it was Kid and Play. They were celebrating in full force. They were celebrating anniversary of House Party.
Yeah.
And we were in the interview and just having a conversation. It was just dope. And it was just like, wow, like, we really sitting here with history, and like, it's the Breakfast Club, and you got Envy, and you got Charlemagne, and you got like, it was just like, when we finished the interview, I remember being like, well, in the interview, I remember being like, and this happens a lot, like, I can't believe I'm sitting here. The first day I got on the Breakfast Club, when I heard Envy say, DJ Envy, Charlemagne, I was like, yo, I'm really at the Breakfast Club. And then I get those moments often, but that was the last time. That probably was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And after we finished, I was like, yo, I be having these moments where I just be like, I can't really believe I'm sitting here. She said, yo, I just had that too. Because it's really like, you know, we're new in the space, but the space is so regarded and it's so historic, like, especially for us, like, for the culture. So all the time, like, it just be like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's we don't always believe we should be in the rooms.
Yeah.
Right? And so those are moments where, you know, God just said, hey, I know you thought, let me go ahead and stamp it for you that you're supposed to be in those rooms. And I think those are those moments, like, dang, like, you really are talented. You really have the skill.
Yeah.
You really deserve to be at this table. Despite everything you've been through, that prepared you for where you at now.
That was my journey guest hosting with Breakfast Club. I think it was such a mental battle of like, I'm here, but like, do I really belong? Am I really a personality? And then when I was doing it and it was good, I remember calling Van, because Van, like, he was so helpful. I was calling him, like, them last couple of days when I knew I was going to quit, I was calling Van Lathan, who used to work for TMZ. It's like a big brother to me. Him and Raquel were like, man, like, even now, like, if I need something, I call them. Like, they're such like big brother, big sister. But I was calling him, and just, I remember one day I said to him, like, yo, TMZ will make you feel like they're the magic. Like, if you leave here, you can't do this. And I realized today, like, no, I'm the magic. Like, it's me. Like, and when you realize that, it just changes everything. Like, the way you look at everything just like changes.
Nah, hey, listen, that's real. It's real. Let me get some tissue. Let me get some tissue, please.
You got me crying.
Nah.
I'm not gonna cry though, because I just did my makeup and it looks so good.
And it
today.
looks so good.
I know. I can't. You gotta go back
tissue.
up because I got concealer.
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah.
But yes, that was. I just remember that day, like, being like, yo, not only am I supposed to be here, but like, I used to always jokingly say, like, when I leave TMZ, because of the context and the way that I do things, you're not gonna be able to get around me. But that day I was really like, yo, the world is really, I'm about to, I'm about to run this up. Like, if I don't know everything that's to come, because this was early, this was guest hosting days. I'm just like, I don't know everything that's gonna come, but like, the way, if I do this the way I feel like I'm about to do it, this is about to change. I don't even think I was thinking about changing my life, but I was thinking about like just the trajectory of like what I thought media should be, and like just all these things. Cause I used to be sitting at TMZ like, we're doing so good over here, but what if we did this? And then I'm like, but their vehicle's not broke, so they're not gonna fix it. And it's not my company. So when I left, I was like, I'm gonna do everything I thought that they should do. Like, they should be on Twitter breaking stories. And I remember breaking stories prior to them or before them online, and now I've noticed, like, no, they run the Twitter too now. It's certain things that I'm like, okay. Okay, we were saying for a long time when I was there, we should show people the newsroom more. Let's vlog, now they have like they go live from the newsroom. And it was just so many different things that I'm like, I wasn't crazy. It just, they weren't in the space to receive it, but like, it didn't matter because God was moving me out of that anyway. And I'm magic, so wherever I go, baby, you're gonna get the sprinkle.
Come on now, sprinkle.
Yes, let me fix my.
You know, and I think I'm glad that you got that though, right? Because some people don't get that.
I think that's why it's so emotional, because it's like I know a lot of people that I feel like are just great at what they do, and like, man, if you could just tap in, or if you could just realize it yourself, you could be light years ahead of these people, and they don't get it. It never happens for some people. So to be in a space where not only did it happen, but you're surrounded by the best of the best people who are going to hone in on you to make it better. I was like, this is crazy. Like, God literally just like hand delivered me like the best blessing career-wise that I could have ever dreamed of.
And you worked for it.
Yeah.
Like, you worked for it. You deserve it.
Yeah,
You know,
you
I'm gonna tell you
made
that
me
right
cry.
now. I ain't trying to do
That's
that. I ain't
all
trying to
right.
do
That's
that
exactly
now.
why I don't like cues.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Now, let's talk about, I mean, you've been in some crazy rooms, right?
Yes.
And sometimes even as the only black woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? The one that had to both perform and educate. For you, how do you carry those experiences and how you lead and create today?
I just make room for people. Like, even if, you know, we might not have a long lasting relationship or it might be transactional, because what we do is transactional sometimes. I just try and make room for people. I really, like, if anybody, like, when I leave a space, I just want people to be like, she made me feel welcome.
Yeah.
She was always down to, like, yo, I have a question, or hey, I need this, or yo, I need a contact. Like, because I feel like when you're in those spaces and you feel like the only, or you feel like, even if you're not the only, but it's less of you than others, it's a scarcity mindset, and it's like, no, it's just me, because if it's not just me, ain't none of us gonna make it, or I won't make it. So I feel like the more room you make for people, the more that, like, it goes against that whole, like, no, we all here, we good, we can all be good as long as there's room for people.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting because in this space, right, in entertainment, they're not always looking for hosts. They're not always looking for talent. They're not looking for producers.
No, this job ain't a job.
It ain't, right? And people gatekeeping, they really don't have to, right? So I appreciate you for wanting to lift as you climb and be like, look, if I'm in this room and you deserve to be in this room, all right, I'll help you navigate that, because some people don't deserve to be in the rooms, right? But I think I want to commend you for that, especially because you're recognizing it now and not 10 years from now. If it's like, dang, I wish things that I tell myself all the time, like, I want to do things that I wish people would have done for me 5 years ago or now, or whatever the case may be, as I'm continuing to navigate. So
See, I operate from, like, yes, that I always try to be that, but sometimes I could get a little petty.
For sure.
But I also operate from a place of, like, I had people do that for me. Like, on a major, like, people got so many stories. I mean, I've had, and I've talked about this on the Breakfast Club, where I've had experiences with older black women that weren't the best. So I try to make sure I'm not the older black woman who's, like, trying to haze the younger black girl because you need to learn this. It's like, no, you need to learn it, but, like, you need some love too. But I've had so many people open up their arms to me, mentor me, throw opportunities my way, answer phone calls for me, connect me with people, just instantly. Like, people normally just instantly become family with me. And it's been a blessing. Like, people take me under their wing, look out wherever I go, like, just throw me jobs and money. Like, I've had so much of that I'm like, I would be, like, God would literally be sitting up there like, girl, you gonna play with me like that? If I would be remiss to not do that, or like try to do that. It's a little bit more difficult now because there's so many different people coming at you, but I do try. You literally just made me think of somebody that I wanted to take with us to the podcast summit today, and I forgot to call him, so I got to figure something out for him. But yeah, like, it's just that I will say I would not be sitting here if I did not have that. If Kara Barnett did not say, hey, here's your first opportunity. If Shiona Tarini, who was, lead market editor at Cosmopolitan magazine and now does all of the creative direction and some styling for Beyonce, like, black editor at a magazine, didn't see me ask a question in a panel and just say, here's my assistant's number, come up and work with Cosmo for a week during your winter break, just because I see you. Like, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be sitting here. 100%.
And I ain't gonna lie, if I ain't have Fred Witt taking a chance on your boy. Cause Fred, I need such and such, I need this, we need that. I mean, Fred is the reason why I even came to Atlanta. He was like, look, if you really want to make it entertainment in any kind of way, New York, LA, DC, or Atlanta. I'm like, VA, that's too close to DC. New York is too cold. I said, LA, that's his own other beast. Because I looked at it from my mindset is, if I got to sleep in my car, I could do it in Atlanta, it's a little warmer.
Yo, my mom used to talk to me like that about LA. Like, we'll send your car, you can sleep in your car.
And I slept in, I did not have a place to stay for like 565 days, like, legit. Because I just I feel like this, in this place and world that we live in, you either got money to make time or time to make money. But only wealthy people got both. And I was getting a little paper out there. I was working at the shoe store, Slave J's, throwing parties, doing all that. But I didn't have the time to chase the dream. And so I said, well, let's choose time. I'll be broke. You ain't gonna be broke forever. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta grind, all right? Now let's talk about your grind. Let's talk about brown girl grinding. Now you said it's your vision is to make BGG the next Nike of just to make it the Nike of content.
Yes.
What does that look like for you in 5 years? And are you kind of already starting to lay those bricks?
I'm starting to lay the bricks, but I do want to do better at it. I feel like I want to do more. I want to build a team. That's why I'm like you realize, like, I keep commenting, like, oh, the cameras and the teleprompters and the in-ears and your team. Like, I want a full-on, like, I don't got to be there and things are still, like, cranking out at a high level when it comes to content and marketing and a lot of things creatively for other people, right? But I think I've started now just because people know the brand, and at least with content, like when we do things, so like I can say, like, for instance, Brown Girl Grinding as a production company is what produces my podcast. People have seen the journey of me go from like one visual space to like now the new one, or just, you know, whatever. I think people are beginning to trust us the way that they trust me. So that's important, but I want to do so much more that I feel like I have the opportunity to lean into now. I just got to structure it the right way. And I think when I say it, like the Nike of, you know, it's not even just content, it's like the Nike of content, it's also of like marketing, storytelling, and just all things in general, right? It's like, even if you don't like a pair of Nikes and you're not gonna buy them, you know the quality of the brand. If you were going to, how many people you know worked at Nike?
Not too many.
Do you remember being in college and that Nike, like the Nike internship being a conversation?
I do.
And people had to move to Oregon for it. And you know how hard it was to get that internship? It was so hard to get that internship. And everyone I know who got that internship, they have amazing lives right now. They work at high level jobs. They're making great money. They're very, you know, detail oriented. They don't play around. But it's because of the training and the way that Nike is structured as a company. You don't come in there without leaving excellent. And what I eventually want Brown Girl Grinding to do is like, I want on the fourth, like the people facing side of it, for it to be a community where people learn and grow and have conversations, and, you know, we're chunking out this content that makes you feel like that too. But on the back end of it, I want to be able to, like, you know, people come to me with an idea for a TV series or streaming series, or you know, some digital content from a brand or like whatever, and you just trust us. Like, okay, here's the budget. We needed to say this, here's the concept, here's the log line, go produce it. And I have a team of people that even if I'm not there, it's high level, it's next level, it's engaging, and get the people going, it makes the sales if it's a product, whatever the case may be, because I understand how important that is. And to be honest, watching Harvey in that newsroom is a newsroom, and, you know, TMZ is #1 at what they do as far as breaking exclusives, but it's also Harvey Levin Productions. He's cranking out series, specials. He's cranking out 2 shows, a primetime evening show, so evening primetime show, which is a major slot, a daytime major slot show. Like, they're coming on when Wendy was on. It was Wendy, Ellen, and TMZ. Page 6 tried, but it didn't last too long. But major platforms, right? He's also doing long form content via his cable network special. So like Fox will come to him and do specials and all the things. Podcast. He has a whole podcast development company, and they have the TMZ podcast, and inside they might give you a HBCU podcast. All that is happening with the same people that do the same couple. I used to watch that like, this man is a genius. He in here working these people like slaves. And I mean, granted, like, you know, everything might not have been fair. I don't say it to say that everything was fair, but what I'm saying it to say is like, he understood putting the right people together and flipping, like, what's the flip? Like, how can Loren is into fashion, blah, 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 blah. Like, she's into 10 different things. How can I use her for all 10 of them to make my company, like, in all areas?
Stay on top of it.
I want my house to be like that. People will be paid well, though.
Okay, y'all heard her.
Yes.
People will be paid well. Paid. She gonna make sure the checks
My
is
trauma
clear.
from being underpaid. I don't want my people to have to go through that. When I can get to that point.
Now let's go back. Graduation day at Delaware State.
Yes, it was Mother's Day.
Well, you know, that's a lot. Mine was Mother's Day too. Mine was dope because I was SGA president. I gave a speech at graduation. My mom was there in the crowd. Had the fans, the little church fans with my face cut off on it. It was a little vibe. What would you tell that version of yourself then, standing in your cap and gown?
I would tell that version of myself, me today would tell Loren on graduation day, like, you have nothing to worry about. You done did everything you supposed to do. You done laid the groundwork. Girl, just like tenacity wise. You've built yourself up in a way that like you are going to run circles around the people that you think are running and leading the race right now. Like, and I also tell her everything that glitters is not gold. Like all of this stuff looks like, oh my God, they're doing this, and why didn't I get this, and why didn't I? But no, when yours comes, it's going to be so tenfold, and it's going to be so full and substantial. You're not even going to care about any of the things that you're considering right now, or thinking about right now, or feeling like we're owed to you right now. Because Loren, don't nobody owe you nothing.
And I would echo that, and then just also add, it always works out.
Oh yes,
like
100%.
It always works out. Like, no matter what it is. And I was
Yes.
listening to a sermon the other day, and they say sometimes we say if something doesn't work, the devil's busy. And he was like, no, I don't even give the devil that much power. He's like, no, God is just covering. It's a reason that it just sit, breathe, and just know.
Breathe, stretch, shake, let it off.
Come on. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Because that's real life, though. And I think as you're navigating, I know there's times you have to remind yourself,
Oh,
hey, it's going to be okay. We've been worse. It's cool.
But that's the HBCU culture of like figuring it out with nothing.
Yes.
That's why, even I'm sure it wasn't the easiest, but those 565 days, that ability to do that, you know how many people had to go home?
Listen to me. Listen to me. I remember vividly when we started the show, we were in a garage, and Will Packer came to the garage. We did an interview. I used to have my clothes in the storage unit here in Atlanta, and my furniture that I had in my apartment was in the storage unit in Richmond. And I remember going to the storage unit. It was like a walk-in closet. I had everything set up so I go in, get my shoes, get my clothes. I literally was picking out clothes out of a storage unit to then go and sit down with Will Packer as if everything was cool, kosher, and copacetic. And that morning, I probably showered at LA Fitness.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so the grinds be different.
Yeah.
But it be like, so now when I go through things or feel different things, I'm often reminded, like, bro.
I've been through worse.
That's
how I be feeling. I be like, man, look.
Come on, bro.
This is, if this is what upset looks like, where you see things on the Breakfast Club or whatever, I'm like, y'all think this is upset? I have been through so much worse. I am blessed to be going through this trauma right now, this drama right now. Like, this is a blessing. This ain't nothing but a few couple 100,000 new Instagram followers.
Hey,
bring it all to me. Come on.
Needs it.
Need all of it.
Now, one of our partners, HBCU Made, is an alumni social network for HBCUs, right? So I want to ask you this. What does being HBCU Made mean to you? Not just in how you move, but even how you get back.
You train to go. Like it's very much, being HBCU Made is very much TTG. You're trained to go. When it comes to how I move, it just means like I'm always trying to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. When you was on campus, you never knew what was happening that day. It might be a plot party. It might be a celeb on campus. You trying to get your interviews in. You trying to host a party there. You trying to, you know what I mean? But when it comes to giving back, it's just like you're always ready to like, one hand helps the other hand because somebody had to help you. You was a freshman, that senior put their arm around you. You was trying to host the parties on campus. The lit host at the time was like, yo, come through. You can get it for free. You just be with me in my home. Like, like that, you learn those things on your campus. So HBCU Made to me means you are trained to go, you ready for whatever, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and you understand the importance of the execution of things.
Nah, that's so important. And balance of things.
Yes.
Like, how do you balance, right? I mean, because you got to know what's happening on social media. You got to be able to read articles. You might watch interviews. You might do this. How do you balance keeping up with what's happening and then still like having a life of your own and being able to do everything at a high level?
I don't even know if I have balance yet. And I don't know if I'll ever find, I be trying to figure that out because I always say like, oh, I want to find balance. But I think it just will get to a point where like eventually I'll get to like my Oprah level where I can like step away and do things as I want to.
Yeah.
But right now I just more so worry about making things cohesive and very clear for myself. So like if I'm out and about and I'm with, my friends where it's like it's cool for me to be on my, because sometimes you with your friends or like your family and you don't want to be on your phone. Yeah. I've had to learn that, but most of the time if I'm with my friends that ain't gonna trip off that, I'm watching my timelines. Or just discipline too comes into that, like as I'm trying to figure out balance. So like I know I need to like I stopped going out a lot during the week because it just got harder for me as the responsibility got more
Yeah.
to like, all right, I'm going straight to the Breakfast Club from the club. Like, and it's like, girl, no, you ain't even get to listen to the audios, you ain't get to watch the
Yeah.
interviews, you know, all the things that I do to prepare. So I stopped doing certain things, unless it's something major. Like if it's something
Right.
major that's gonna make sense and if it adds to the show, I'll
Cool.
do it. Every now and then I might, you know, just one, two, but like discipline has helped in me trying. I don't think I have balance. So, and just understanding that like things might not be balanced, but as long as they cohesive and they flow. And also too, like one of the things I'm always trying to figure out every day is like, who are the people that can help me balance? Like I
Okay.
can't do it by myself. So who are the people that can help me balance? And I think I have this grand idea of like team and like all these things that I want to do. And I be having to remind myself like, Loren, you just got lit like yesterday. Like you've been that girl, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
feel you.
been her. But as far as like having all these things happen and things coming at you, all of this is very new. So I'm still, sometimes I be having to like be like, all right, you feel like this should be like this should be like that. But girl, wait, this all just like, breathe.
Yeah.
Like y'all, you like 90 days out of probation. Like calm down. Like it's okay. You're going to figure these things out. Give it some time. Everything will build. So it's, you know, as I'm trying to find the balance because I don't have it, I think it's just, you know, figuring out team, understanding when and where things are important, discipline, and making things cohesive because most of the time you don't have balance, but I just keep things flowing.
No, that's valid. I mean, life, you just learning as you go. I think
100%.
it's moving so fast, but you're adapting very well, right? Like just even today, just the adapting that you got to do the boom, 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 and you still, what's up, right? And I think we also learned that at HBCU because we just never knew what we was gonna get.
And because you was out all night and they had to make it.
It
to
had
school.
to come on
Boy,
now
I
because
used
you
to be
still got to graduate.
Pre-gaming and studying at the same time.
Come on. Now, before we let you
Oh,
go,
not pre-gaming because our campus is a dry campus.
right? What you said.
Yep.
Heard you. Now, before we let you go, we have a segment called Questions from the Yard. So where we'll get a college student that want to ask you a question.
Okay.
All right. So Maya from Clark-Atlanta University wants to know, what's one mistake you made early in the industry that taught you a major lesson, and how did it shape your next move?
That's a great question, Maya.
It'd be a lot of lessons.
Yeah. Dang, I don't know. I think maybe top of mind, just in a quick answer, because I would really have to think about that to like go deep. But top of mind, it would be like, I mean, I've always valued my contacts, but when things started moving fast in the newsroom and like you're reaching out to people and you have all these numbers and you're calling them, I used to be like, okay, I'm done this story, so like I don't need to save these numbers, or I might not talk to these people again. But it was because it was so many people.
Yeah.
It's different when like your day-to-day is not as crazy,
Yeah.
right? So like you want to store the numbers and you got time to follow back up with people and all the things that you learn, even like how to introduce myself, or when I leave a voice message. I learned that in high school, like stating my name twice and my number twice and all those things, beginning and the end of the message. Those things were important, but like as things started moving fast, I lost it a little bit. And that used to come back to bite me in my behind because, you know, I might break a story. Like when I was at TMZ, I might break a story and the story is great. And if that story hits #1 on the board and it's trending nationally all over the world or all over the US or wherever, across Google and X and all these things, now they want you to follow up they want you to do a follow-up story.
Yeah.
Child, I done call like 30 people for the rest of the day and I ain't stored the contacts. I haven't, you know what I'm saying? Or even just saying thank you to people, contacts, right?
Yeah.
Calling, just being like, hey, thanks for giving me that exclusive. When things are moving fast, you don't think about the small things like that. And I learned a hard lesson because there were times where like they would come back to me about stories or contacts and I wouldn't have it top of mind. And I mean like things are breaking. Like we got a tip, someone died, and it's like, Loren, you talked to the family yesterday. What's the number? Loren, why don't you know the number? So now I got a nexus. I got it like, and I used to be like, yo, I got to store numbers, or I got to use keywords in my text so I can search things. So like that was a big lesson for me. That's not as like deep. It's kind of more surface level, but that was so important for me because my follow-up game is crazy. It has to be. But every time I forget to store something or whatever, I get so anxious because I remember that moment where I forget what death was. It was a major, we were working on, it was Nipsey Hussle, actually. It was Nipsey Hussle. And we weren't even in the newsroom. I was working from home that day. But I forget who it was that they were trying to get me to get in contact with. And most of the time I worked on hip hop related things and I didn't have a number stored. And it was a Sunday and just trying to find the person and get the contact. And I had a cell phone number, like direct contact. That was like such a big like thing. That day was just crazy in general. But that right there, that day and that instance, I was like, man, like it's so important to, if you're gonna build relationships, build them for real. Even if they're transactional, like it's okay for people to feel like, oh, she's a person and she deals with me transactionally, but like she's not treating me like I don't mean nothing, like numbers thrown away.
And I think that lesson even helps you in today, right? Like in, you know, even when you're breaking stories now, right? I remember you saying like sometimes they don't want you to break them, but you still got to. But there's a level of integrity that you still keep. And
you try to keep it, yeah.
And you'll still tap back in with them, and then y'all kind of go on to the next
if
one.
If they answer the phone after.
Yeah.
if they answer the phone after, you tap back in. If not, it's like, oh, and see you at the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Now, look, Loren, this is it for HBCU 101, but is there anything you want to leave the people?
I just want people to encourage their children to go to HBCUs. I tell my niece all the time, you have no choice. I want people to encourage their nieces, nephews, cousins. Like, I think people hear HBCUs now and it's so trendy. And I love that it is. I love that everybody's
it's
like
deeper than the trend.
Yeah, like everybody's like leaning into the homecomings and the, you know, the swag and, you know, I see the brand collabs and all that with the merch. Love that because it's giving HBCUs a platform. But I think I really want people to understand that like going to school didn't change my life. Going to an HBCU changed my life. Like the culture and the importance and the self-respect that it teaches you and just even the fun that I had, like, and my ability to just have a good time and be social changed my life. And I think every Black person in the world deserves that experience. Yes. Please push your people to go to HBCUs. And if you're alumni, get involved with your school. If you can't give back money, like I'm not the best at like just giving people my money, but you know, I'm trying to be better. But you know, I love to like show up. So like if I can come and host something or if I can go speak to kids or whatever I can do, like show up. Like my first entertainment job was someone coming back to campus. So if you're an alumni, go back. Get involved, get on social, talk about the school. Like it's such a revolving door. Just keep the door revolving. That's my message to the people.
No, that's very valid. Gotta keep it going because that's us. That's for us, by us. That's what we gotta do.
Yep.
For people that this might have been their first time meeting you, where can they find you? How can they keep up?
First of all, this is your first time meeting me. We sorry that you're late.
Come on.
Sorry.
Now.
I mean, that was a joke. But no, is this your first time meeting me? Or if not, like follow me. I'm Loren LoRosa everywhere. LorenLoRosa. Loren LoRosa _iconic on TikTok. I break news throughout my social media platforms while also giving you good fashion, but I'm always giving the good sources as well. And I document my life as much as I can on YouTube, Loren LoRosa TV. So that's like the behind the scenes of the grind. Come to events with me and we vlog, and you know, my podcasts, our visuals are posted there daily as well. Make sure you listen to the podcast daily. The latest with Loren LoRosa, your daily dig on all things pop culture, entertainment news, and all of the conversations that shake the room because we're growing. We are, look, the lowriders, y'all want to join that community. It's like 1 million+ people that be listening to me just yak. God is good.
All the time.
Okay?
And all the time.
That's all the places you can find me at. You know, I would drop the Cash App, but that's a whole nother story. Period. I'm excited to be here, and this is great.
Nah, I appreciate you for coming through. Listen.
Yep.
First and only time I've ever put a big flag on the set. Cause it's always VSU for
rep
me.
The set.
But I had to let you rep Dale State is in the building.
I was up here crying for Dale State. They better make sure I go down in the history books, okay?
Come on now.
Please, okay?
Come on now.
But this has been great. Y'all are such a great team. So congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
And you're really good.
I appreciate
People
that.
It don't be all of this. Like people just, it's very surface level, but you really did your research. You're really great.
Appreciate that.
So thank y'all for having me on the platform, and I wish y'all nothing but success. And when y'all get big, please bring me back.
Come on now, we're gonna cook, don't you worry about it. That's it for HBCU 101. It's Jalil, it's Loren LoRosa. Y'all know what it is. Peace.
That was so good.